I want you to imagine a guy, muscles, stone cold face, walking through with confidence around this world, and he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt. Now, what if I told you that 40% of combat mixed martial artists suffer from depression at some point in their career? Weird, right? To think that someone with that stature, someone that's completely stoic, and someone that you believe can get through anything may also suffer the same way that you do at home. So we can't say that we are free. We can't say that it happens to only me. It happens to everybody. And at some point in our life, we gotta learn that we're gonna have to deal with some type of mental illness or mental health issue somewhere down the road. I want to introduce to you Dustin Haraway, Coach Dustin, who is a black belt in BJJ at 10th Planet in Las Vegas. And it was an awesome story, an awesome time having him on the podcast where I get to learn more about him. You know, I only know him as a coach. I have a great story. It's in the podcast on how I met him, how we got to know each other. But at the same time, I never thought that he would be suffering the same way I was, only because he never showed it. You never knew. The man transplanted from Hawaii to Las Vegas to change his life. And his story is amazing. So I'm really excited to have him on. I'm really excited for you guys to listen, and I hope you guys take away some of the pinpoints that he talks about that really helped him throughout his recovery process. All right? So if I'm ready and you're ready, let's do this. Dustin, please tell us a little bit about yourself if you can.
What's up, guys? So my name is Dustin Haraway. I'm a black belt under Rafael Domingos. I've been training for about 12 years now. Started in Hawaii, moved out to Vegas, been out here for about 6 years. And I'm currently coaching and training over at 10th Planet Henderson and 10th Planet Downtown.
Hell yeah. It's I never told you this story, but you're the reason I started jiu-jitsu here, because we lived across from the old place and on South Grand. And then I walked in and you guys are rolling. You know, it was you, Sonia, Nicholas, and like a couple other people, probably like 7 or 8 people just doing no-gi. Yeah, small group. It was like 5 o'clock, 5:30. And I wanted to go lift. And then I saw that and it completely changed my outlook. And then you're like super nice. You're like, oh, come take a class, this and that. And then the next day I ended up taking the trial and I've been pretty hooked on it since then, and I never really told you that, but like you're the reason that I started really getting into training. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. It's funny how you went from one thing and just automatically by meeting and talking to one person. And then of course the help that you gave me throughout like the past month, the first month, it just changed my outlook on training.
Great,
and it's
great memories.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
good times.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the question is, why did you raise your hand? So like I, asked the question, everyone on Instagram, like, would you like to share your story? Why did you raise your hand? That's really what
when I was at brown belt, before I started training consistently with Rafael, honestly, I wanted to quit. I kind of lost my reasoning for jiu-jitsu because I wasn't competing. I wasn't accomplishing anything that I came out here to Vegas to do. I ended up just working a lot. And it was circumstances, which we can get into in a little bit. But I had to reevaluate my why, and I think mental health is a big thing, man, especially for men. A lot of men struggle with that. They feel alone. And for me, jiu-jitsu has always been there, whether I had relationship issues, financial issues. It was always there for me, So I think going off of what you were saying, it's really important that we cover stuff about mental health, and why training is important. Really anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be jiu-jitsu, but just movement in general,
Right. It guides you. I don't know what it is besides obviously the physiological, right, effects of it, but it just goal orientation, really just being excited about something, it's really, or constantly having to learn, constantly have to not think about your own life, constantly thinking.
And then also the people you're around, through jiu-jitsu, I met amazing people, man. Amazing people. Some people that are now even my family,
Oh wow. Yeah, man. Yeah. And so the notion of, you surround yourself with these people, you're going to be those people. You surround yourself with these people, you're going to be these people. So when you do have that like-minded attitude or like-minded goals, it does make you that person, right? Or at least want to
Exactly.
be better than that person, honestly.
Mhm.
you know and it's true, mental health it's not talked about, and you brought up the right thing, especially with men, right? How
Mhm.
many guys just push through, man up, and do all these things, yet never share a story or never try to work their way out of it. So with that said, like, what would be for you, I know, I'm sure everyone has many, right, battles that they go through. What do you think is the more significant one for you to talk about today?
I think for me personally, it was definitely being a single dad out here. A lot. It came with a lot of ups and downs. Um, but it was a blessing for sure, and I'm glad everything worked out the way it did. I had an awesome opportunity to raise my daughter, and I felt like living in Vegas was like my transition from being a boy to a man. You know what I mean? Out here in Vegas, especially not having not having family out here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now I do. I consider a lot of the people that I've created awesome friendships with in the fitness and martial arts community, my
Right.
family, a
Right.
handful of people. So, but that was a big thing going up, through the ups and downs of that, feeling alone.
Mm.
Um, and during those times, honestly, when I didn't have proper coping mechanisms,
Right.
I just would go train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever problems I was having, I would just go and train.
Yeah.
And then throughout training, I met a lot of amazing people. Even learned about EQ. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Emotional intelligence, and just a lot of my life skills I got from training, man. My communication skills, training and working, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It is a transitionary period, right? It's like you just get hit with it, and you were stuck here. It's like
Yeah.
you're fighting your way and figuring your way out that
Hmm.
entire time. You
Life
also
doesn't
brought
come with a manual.
no, not one bit, man. No, they don't like taking breaks. You said that you want to quit being a brown belt. What were like you feeling at that time of your brown belt? You really want to quit, like jujitsu, and I'm sure other things, right? What was it that really
um,
made you feel that
so
way?
so at that time, I wasn't training consistently. I was always constantly traveling for work. Um, Again, a lot of like first world problems, a lot of circumstantial stuff.
Right.
And I was always, when I would go and train, I trained over at Zenith at that time. It was a lot of rough training, a lot of rolling, and a lot of the
Yeah.
people that were bigger than me. So I would constantly get injured.
Hmm.
So it was hard to stay motivated.
Yeah.
Um,
Just when you're
but
there for like something positive, but it just keeps almost like it's getting beat up
yeah,
like over and
but
over again.
it was the volume too. Like I can't just, I'm not trying to blame it on my training partners there, but it was also, of course, from the rough training, but um, it was a mix of things, probably not resting properly. And then my job as well was very physical. A lot of overhead stuff. I did facility maintenance and HVAC at the time.
Hmm.
So it was pretty rough back then. But
Yeah.
I made a decision to leave, and actually shout out to my sensei Rafael Domingos. If it wasn't for him and coaching me on how to coach and train, then I probably would have quit. You know,
Mm.
but when I started taking privates with him in his garage with Alex Denny, Rafael Domingos, it was awesome. Like I started really studying positions that didn't require me to be athletic and were that made me efficient in beating more athletic people. For example, like the half guard, right? Half guard, what I learned it as was the coyote guard, but it's more commonly known as the Kosoto hook
Hmm.
from the half guard, stuff like that.
Oh, just literally finding different ways, right? To find
Yeah,
something.
just to be efficient with jujitsu and not because I'm a smaller guy. Right now
Hmm.
I weigh about 150, so I'm competing around 145
Oh
for
wow,
trial. So,
are you
yeah, I'm
really?
pretty. Yeah, I
What?
mean, I haven't been that light in a while. I think the last time, actually, no, not the last time you see me, but the last time we've actually trained together, I was 170.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like 200, like you felt like 190, like you felt like I mean that's what you feel like, you know what I mean? So
Mhm,
that's a good thing, right? In jiu-jitsu, it's the pressure. It's
mhm.
it's to make yourself
Right.
heavier. So wow, that makes sense. Wow, you cut
Mhm.
down, man. Really?
Yeah, I have some more pounds to go, but almost there.
And when's the fight again? When's your match? The one in
I
Hawaii?
think it's March.
March. That's
Oh,
in
that
March.
one's March 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
weight
coming.
for that one. I think I might
Yeah.
be a little underweight for that, but
Okay.
um March 30th or March 31st, I believe, is when trials is. It's gonna be fun. A lot of tough guys for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That was I was there last year. That was it's crazy. It was like not a normal tournament. It was just very weird to
No,
me. First
it's
time.
amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
it's
awesome.
amazing how jiu-jitsu is blowing up.
Oh my
It's good
god.
to see. Mhm.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You said something from last time was if I didn't have jujitsu or I didn't have the coping mechanisms that I do now, I always relied on jujitsu or rolling or working out, right? Doing something. What type of coping mechanisms do you use presently? Is there anything that you could share with us that you do, whatever it is? It doesn't,
Yeah, breathing exercises are good. Just to calm the nervous system down. Journaling. I like to journal. I'm not as consistent with it. I feel like my cortisol levels are pretty neutral, man. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Like I don't really have anything stressing me out. Sometimes I stress myself out. That's probably as worse as it gets now, but try to keep life simple, man. You know what I mean? And stay in my lane and do my thing. But yeah, I would say journaling and breathing exercises are probably my go-to outside of
Yeah.
training.
Very
Mhm,
cool. Very cool. Breathing is huge. Journaling
mhm.
is even it's really underrated, right? Like and you said I'm not as consistent as I need to be, but it's sometimes journaling is just there when you
Yeah.
need it, right? When that brain is
Mhm.
like for me, when my
Going
brain has a thousand
100 miles
thoughts,
an hour.
I have to put them down on paper. Do you use
Mhm,
lists? Like do you make lists during the day to kind of help you like
mhm.
focus or no?
Just if I have like a busy day, then yes.
Right.
Like like for today was busy, so I was like, okay, I have to get up at because I sleep fairly late.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, I have to get up at 5 a.m. so I can train and teach at 6 a.m., be there at 5:30, and then I make sure that for my classes, I prep all my classes, like the structure of the class, the
Nice.
techniques I'm gonna go over and stuff like that. And then so days like this where it's busy, yes, I'll create a list, but for the most part, no, I can memorize everything.
Yeah. I figured. I figured. So if because usually the people that say I'll journal every once in a while, it's usually when it's too much, right?
Yeah.
When like a day is as hectic as today, or just scheduled, you just don't want to miss
Mhm,
things. So you'll make a list that makes tons
mhm.
of sense. People out there that don't journal, just start writing stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
actually started doing? There's a thing too. It popped up on my phone. It was called like a journaling app. I don't know where it came from and
Mhm,
sometimes I'll just talk it. Like I don't have to sit down and write because
mhm,
sometimes me writing, I don't know what I'm writing half the time.
mhm,
So I'll just talk it out and it sets up a journal, gives you ideas. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I've never downloaded it. It just popped up on my phone. It's one of those things that Apple just I think gives you as you're
mhm.
inside it. So it's just something there. Um, I know we had um you moved here, right, to Vegas as a transitionary period. Could you just tell me about that? I have a lot of
Yeah,
questions
absolutely.
for
I
you.
would love to. I would love to. So I moved here with aspirations with my jujitsu, and after so everything's happened so quick, man. I moved here with aspirations for my jujitsu to compete regularly, and then some stuff actually had happened with my daughter back home in Hawaii, and I had the opportunity to get full custody of her. So I ended up pursuing that, which took away a lot of time because during that period I had to travel back and forth, you know, and at the time I was like 23. So yeah, I was very young. I was a baby, man. And it was just a lot of again, circumstantial stuff, man. And long story short, I ended up getting custody over my daughter, but yeah,
Wow. 23. And just kind
23,
of
yeah.
battling back and
29,
forth,
yeah,
getting
I
there.
was
Finally
going
got
back
her.
and forth quite often, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I had to
man.
work a lot, man. I had to work a lot and make sure everything in my personal life outside of jiu-jitsu was up to par, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
Mhm,
Yeah, you went here for, this one dream, and then it's not that it's an obstacle. It's just this is
mhm.
now life. Like life just changed for
Yeah,
you.
life changed.
Right?
At
Life
the time,
changed.
I did feel like I had to choose, you know, I had to make a decision.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm very, very happy I didn't do was I didn't quit jujitsu, you know?
Right.
And you know, even though I haven't met my athletic goals now, it's not out of the picture. I'm still young. I'm giving myself to at least 35 to get like an adult world title.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, it's been a very long journey, but the difference between me now and then is that I really believe in myself, my skill, you know, because I know the
Mhm.
experience that I have, the skills that I have. And it's just a matter of getting out there and showcasing it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what is it? What is that? There's a saying. I think I heard it, whether it was yesterday or the other day, just randomly through like a YouTube clip. It was like the difference between someone that fails and someone that succeeds is they just didn't quit, right? It's like
Mhm.
they're both on the same journey, but someone's just going to stop at some point. But you continue to go. You continue to not, you know, give up on whatever it is you did come here for, which is very admirable. And you're fucking good at it, man. So I
Appreciate
don't,
it, brother. Thank you.
not just saying, I'm just a guy that's there. You're good at it because you love it. There's a big
Mhm.
difference. You can
Yeah.
see it when you teach it, when you do it. You're not there like half-assing on the phone. You know what I mean? It's like a personal trainer that just doesn't give a shit. You're
Mhm.
not that person. And you even
Right.
said it's like I like to know like what my class is going to do, the goal of the class, the structure of the class. There's a lot of people that just go into classes, which is it happens once in a while. Sure, you're tired, but like that
Mhm.
mindset, you can tell that you love it. You tell that
Yeah.
you want to succeed in this. I guess this journey that you've left Hawaii for, man. That's crazy. Why Las Vegas? Why do people come here? What is it just closer or just like the place?
Originally, I wanted to move to California, but we all know California is just very expensive. So starting off, I was just like, Vegas would probably be better, you know. I mean, I know it's not at the time it wasn't like the mecca of jujitsu, but it's still fight capital. So I knew
Yeah,
I was still gonna get good jujitsu. And at the time when
that's
I decided to move, Robert Drysdale Zenith actually had really good training. Like Rafael Domingos was there when he
yeah,
was an active competitor. Um, Hinata Canuto, his wife Raquel Canuto. There's a lot of good people, man.
yeah,
Um, so I felt like that was the best move for me at that time.
yeah. That's right. I forget like this is the place. Like even more so, it has definitely transformed
Mhm.
to a more of a jujitsu place. I've never
Oh
seen
yeah,
this many
for sure.
competitions in my entire life.
Mhm.
East Coast, you have to wait like 3 months to like get
Yeah.
one and then drive
Now it's
4
every
hours
month.
away every
We have a
month.
Naga, we have a Grappling Industries,
The
AGF
opening.
now.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
so much now. So
So
much.
many,
Yeah, it's
so
great.
many. It's
Mhm,
cool. It's a
mhm,
cool culture to be a part of. It's cool culture to watch,
mhm,
and then watch you guys and people like you guys compete out of nowhere. It's like, I'm gonna go to watch a match. I'm gonna watch a tournament. I'm gonna watch a fight. Whereas
mhm.
before I didn't have that ability to do so. But here you can definitely watch a lot of things. Who did I see at the park? I saw Misha Tate at the park yesterday. It like, blew my mind. I was like, I think it's Misha Tate, but I'm not gonna look at her. But it was definitely her because she has a face. She has
Mhm,
that face. I even
mhm.
asked my wife. I was like, do you think Google her and then look at that lady? You tell me if that's her or not. It's cool. It's cool to just
Yeah,
show up and stuff.
Vegas is a pretty cool spot, man.
Yeah,
Went
man.
into a lot of a lot of celebrities in different careers.
Yeah. You never even know, right? There's so
Mhm.
many forms walking around. You'd never even know. Like anyone here, I don't talk to anyone here in this whatever I live, but you never know. You never ever know. All right. I want to go to mental health, men's mental health. All right.
Mhm.
Particularly, why do you think that it's so neglected? Like, why do you think that we don't talk?
Well, it's a
First of
skill.
all,
It's a skill. We never learned it. Maybe we never had a healthy masculine when we were kids to show us. EQ is a skill, man. It's something that's why it's taught. I actually, so when I stopped training over at Ronin, a little off topic, but when I stopped training at Ronin consistently, it wasn't because I was giving up jujitsu. I know a lot of people thought that, which is kind of interesting. But it was because I started attending workshops for EQ because I knew it was a skill that I wanted to develop. Like I didn't want to just be a black belt on the mat. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a black belt in life. And again, it's a skill, so you need to study it. You need to apply it. Just like anything else.
very true.
Mhm.
Again, you surprised me that you said that. Because you were like, you even said, it's surprising that people thought I quit. I was like, yeah, I thought, because I didn't know if you quit or just you were moving back or just left. Because I haven't
Mhm.
seen, but then I wasn't there either, but I haven't seen or heard of you. So I was like, oh man, Where is he at? Where's he at? Well,
Yeah,
now that makes
because I
sense.
was traveling back and forth from Vegas to LA for the workshops. I was just kind of training whenever I could. I mean, obviously the volume is gonna drop because of traveling, but I was still training. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have any like big takeaways from what you learned?
Yeah, again, like a lot of things, like it's a lot of the things were just concepts that I learned, but one thing was I didn't realize, like, when I would speak about being like a single father, I kind of gave the impression that I was a victim. So that was one thing that I did a
Mhm.
lot of reflecting about, you know, um, just the difference between a victim and what was it? What was the analogy that they used? I can't remember off the top of my head, but just someone that's gonna go out there and you know go and get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus someone that's gonna feel sorry for themselves.
Right. Right. And you definitely portrayed it that way. You did not portray it that way.
I
You
wasn't
like
even aware of it,
no. Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
when I got my feedback, that
Sick.
yeah. So
That's sick. You even said like you said it. You were like you said, "Oh, I got full custody of my daughter," but you didn't say like and just left it there. You're like, it was a blessing. You changed the language. And when you said that, I was like, oh yeah. And that does make a difference because if you said it a different way, like, I had custody and it was just hard. Well,
yeah.
that would have changed the energy. But I remember you definitely saying, like, I gained custody, but it was a blessing. I got
Mhm.
this. I transitioned. This is my transitionary period. Really, that's a really great point that you brought up. That's huge, man. I
Mhm.
didn't think about that. Like people can talk about for whatever they went through this and they're depressed, right? And sure, you will be depressed. Like it's hard, but it doesn't mean it has to be hard, right? It doesn't have to be portrayed as hard. We can always change the language to at least make it feel a little bit better. So that was a really good takeaway. Thanks, I appreciate that one. That's good. I went there. What was my other question? Shit, I lost it.
You come
Yeah,
back.
whatever. Yeah, I'll come back to it at one point. It's all right. So what are you doing now? Like, do you still? I know you were in the mix of also strength training and doing other things. You're very active, right? You're always doing
Yeah.
something. Do you still actively strength train? Or did you pursue coaching anymore, or kind of just left it at jujitsu?
Just left it at jujitsu. I found that personal training outside of my jujitsu coaching, it was very, very difficult to manage.
Hmm.
So I decided to just stick to one.
Yep.
And again, like I prefer it that way anyway because I want to be a master at coaching. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a jack of all trades. So I want to be a master at coaching jujitsu, and it's a separate skill from being an athlete. So,
Right.
which actually does, it does make it does make you a better athlete as well. So I just wanted to go all in with this and focus on this. A lot of big things happening this year, man.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Again,
For
circumstances.
sure.
One thing was finances. I went broke chasing this dream. But
What
I'm
happened?
glad I did it. You know what I mean? Because when I said I went broke chasing this dream, but I'm glad I
Oh,
did it because when the time comes and I can reflect, at least I can look back at it and have no regrets. You know what I mean? But going,
100%.
going back to what I was saying is that this year is a big year for me. This month I'm gonna be completely out of debt, so the sky's the limit. With taking risk and stuff.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm excited.
Nice. Like if we said this or talked like a year ago, right? Would you even been in the same mindset, like the same positioning?
For sure, yeah. The last almost 2 years, I just focused on the goal. Of course, like there was a little distractions here and there, you know what I mean, but nothing crazy. I still came back and stayed on track. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, if not, then I wouldn't reach my financial goals, but had to. I have a
Right.
little one to think about. You know what I mean, not just
Yeah.
myself.
How old is she
Mhm.
now?
She's 11 now.
Jesus
Yeah, and
Christmas.
she's gotten really tall, man. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah? Yeah,
Mhm.
she's not like 4 foot no more. 3 foot something.
Not
Jesus.
3 foot something. Yeah, she's
No.
she's definitely taller for sure. Yeah,
No, man, it's
I wouldn't be
crazy.
surprised if she's taller than me, man.
Oh my crap. I wouldn't doubt it, right? Like she's gonna keep growing. The kids always grow. I don't know
Mhm.
how. They just keep moving. They keep moving forward. You said world. So let's talk goals really fast for you. I know you have this big month coming up with a tournament fight. And you said you want to be a world champion. Where was that? What's that look like?
I definitely want to get a. I definitely want to get an IBJJF Nogi Road title. It's not
That's
going to
it.
be easy, but um, I think it's possible
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that how everything had worked out with me ending up at 10 Planet
Mhm.
is definitely going to help. We have world class training there, man.
Yeah.
Um, Andy, man, he's on another level. You know, he's still his game's very modern. Like
Right.
he studies every day. He's beating the best people.
Yeah.
Consistently. For me, he's the best right now. You
Yeah.
know, Coach Casey is an amazing coach. Just blending the jujitsu and the wrestling.
Mhm.
The people that come in, I get to roll with Marab. You see Marab's performance. That guy has a gas tank,
Yep.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so I meet amazing people from all over the world and consistently, and
Right.
I always get good training, good coaching. So
That
yeah, the sky's the limit, man. I have all the tools.
right, and it's what you talked about last time, right? It's like if your
Mhm.
goal is, "I wanna be a competitor and win world titles," you gotta surround yourself with those partners.
Champions. Mhm.
In wrestling, we say it all the time. It's like, "We can go to this club and we can be fine with but no offense, but I wanna be here." Right?
Mhm.
It's like, I love you, but it's like, I feel like now's my time to move to a different place because
Mhm.
they're gonna push me, right? Because I'm only under them now. So I need to like keep raising up. And Andy, right? And I didn't know he was the. I did not know he was the owner of that one. I thought it was somewhere else.
So Coach
Was
Casey
it?
is the owner of
Okay.
10th Planet Henderson in downtown, and head coach, and then Andy's like his right hand man. He teaches all the
Uh,
CM classes in Henderson. If you haven't tried it, definitely check it out because I know you and your brother, you guys come from a wrestling background as well. It's a
yeah.
good time, man. Sick game, sick
Yeah.
game.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I'll
Mhm.
go check it for sure. We start going more. So we've been doing a lot of wrestling, going to like where's it at? ATC, those guys over there,
Yeah,
like
I
those
remember we
wrestling
talked
clubs,
about that.
Couture's, yeah, going to
Mhm.
Couture's, and then stuff like that. Just check it out. I think my brothers are gonna go for the Greco Worlds at South Point. I think
Oh, sick.
in April. So
When is that? April? He's gonna
April.
compete.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. He's
Oh, I'll
just gonna
come check
wait
you
this
guys
month,
out.
and he's gonna sign up. Same thing. He's just waiting to see how he feels training and diet.
Mhm.
Eating this month. If his body feels good, he'll sign up. If it doesn't feel good, he's like, I'm not gonna sign up.
Wrestling tournaments is a different animal, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
The
different,
pace, the athleticism.
right?
Yeah.
It's just different. It's just different, but it
It's
applies.
good.
You know,
Mhm,
like you said, like Coach Casey's combining that over there, and
mhm,
it's no keys like a wrestling world too. You know, it's especially on the
mhm.
feet. You know, I've seen your
Yeah.
wrestling. It's great. It's great. I felt it. Like what?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Still
I can't
learning a
imagine.
lot.
Yeah,
Still learning a lot. Definitely not like my jujitsu,
right.
but with Coach Casey and Andy's helping all my teammates over at 10th Planet, it's not gonna say it's getting there, but it's getting better.
Right. That's great. You sound like you're in a great place, man. I'm not gonna lie. You sound very positive and just outspoken about what looks ahead. At some point, even when we talked, it wasn't like discussional. You know, we talk about
Mm,
short, small stuff, and then we'd carry on with our day. But the
mm.
opportunity to be here and talk to you and literally, pick your mind about where you were to where you are now, it's amazing. You know, just seeing this transformation of your life. Um, I'm glad I got to see it. Honestly,
Yes, Henderson. Yeah.
Henderson.
So if you want to train Andy and Coach Casey 6 a.m., 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless somebody subs for him, like
Okay.
myself. Um, Andy is gonna be 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. on Saturdays, I believe. And
Okay.
then Tuesday and Thursdays in downtown, 11 a.m. and 5:30 for me.
Oh, okay. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays downtown. So there's
Yes,
two
the next
different.
4 weeks, when I come back from Hawaii, I'll be there for like 4 or 5 days. It's gonna be all front headlock stuff, so I'd love to
Okay.
have you and your brother.
Yeah, yeah. We're in. We're in. We'll check out the schedule. I'll text you anyway, and then we'll do it
Sounds
for sure.
good.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Sounds good, bro.
All right, man. I'll talk
My
to you
man.
later.
Take care,
Bye.
bro.
You good?
Aloha.